Welcome to Uncloaked Illusions. I'm Chris Anthony, and I just wanted to congratulate President Putin on his victory in the presidential election, becoming Russia's president again, with a 67% turnout, his highest turnout in the presidential elections. Now, the main thing that President Putin has been able to achieve over his presidential terms and his single term as prime minister was to fix the economy of Russia from one that was a basket case, one that was cutting the lifespan of Russia, one that led to suicides and a drug problem, to an economy that is stable and has allowed people to return to a sense of normalcy. This has allowed Russians to become more prosperous and an economy that has avoided the peaks and thralls which was associated with the terrible state of the Russian economy in the 90s. Putin's main legacy for Russians is that he created a Putin economic miracle where he increased the GDP, stabilized the economy, got the business oligarchs that were ravishing the Russian state under control, improved various public projects through investment, roads, housing, etc. And also, congratulations to President Xi Jinping. He began his second term as China's president. And also, he will serve a presidency for life. So, what's going on is the presidents of these particular countries, they are not forfeiting their power because they have an objective, and that is to bring their countries to a better place economically and to bring people out of poverty. It would be a wonderful thing if the United States could join the Silk Road Initiative instead of trying to spew its hubris throughout the entire world and force people to lay down and abide at what they feel the world should be like, or the world should be under their control, and not allow the paradigm shift to occur. Now, it doesn't really matter whether the United States jumps on board or they just stand back and allow the ship to sail by and pass them by. The paradigm is shifting, and it does not matter whether this country is going to change with the times or try to remain in power by using subterfuge, using war, using endless chaos to stay in control, because that time is pretty much over. We are literally hanging on by a thread to our particular dollar system. I mean, thus the reason I believe March the 26th, the oil exchange will come on board for the yuan, the petro yuan. So you're going to see a lot of things change. Yes, it's not going to happen overnight. Ultimately, you will see these changes. And if the United States doesn't get on board, then of course you're going to deal with something that is far worse than 1933 or 1929's market crash. And 1933 and on followed the depression. We're going to see something just as dramatic and just as terrible as this particular time. Now, it's been my goal to put together a awareness campaign to inform people about what's going on with the Chinese initiative, and also what's going on with our dollar, what's going on with our country or our leaders removing our dollar from the gold standard, which was the leverage for it. And it's going to be difficult to explain this to people for the most part, but I'm going to try to put together a campaign where it can be layman term for the most part, explaining 1929's stock market crash and what led to this, and also the depression, also what happened in the 80s, also the gold standard being removed from the dollar, and 2007, 2008 the housing crash, I believe it was, and a plethora of things that followed it. We do not have an improving economy, although it appears like that on the surface. But underneath, there's a lot of bubbles, there's a lot of chaos going on, and there's a lot of a subterfuge as well. There's a lot of trying to convince you that everything is great when it's actually not, to keep the notion going that, yeah, we're gonna be fine, we're gonna be great, we're gonna pull ourselves out of the recession, which is ridiculous. I'm Chris Anthony, and this is all I have to say about this. Like, subscribe. Let's continue to grow the subscriptions, and leave your comments. What do you think about this? Do you think that President Putin winning the election and Xi Jinping serving for a life term as president, does this mean they're not going to back down for this paradigm shift to happen and for the Chinese initiative to bring the world out of poverty? Chris Anthony, give me your prospects on this.